We're here to bring a new type of news show.
New insights, new styles, and new topics every day.
We are News Generation.
Bringing news just for you. It's Wednesday, May 6th here in Seoul. I'm Isujin, and this is News Generation. And joining us today for the first time is Majid.
So good to be here. Thank you.
Good to have you, and also Kyung's with us today.
Thanks for having me.
And both are here to speak on behalf of people in their 20s and 30s. So it's the middle of the work week, and as we come off of Children's Day here in Korea, what better way to keep the festive mood going than by exploring some of Seoul's hottest spots. But before we get into that, let's meet our newest panelist, Majid. So you might recognize him from our Zoom interviews, but this is his first time joining us in the studio. So welcome, Majid. So before we start, can you tell us a bit about yourself?
Thank you so much for having me. Like I always say, just like BTS new album Arirang, I have a special place for Arirang in my heart. So thank you so much for having me. Hi everyone, I'm Majid. 안녕하세요, namaste, ni hao, bonjour, kamusta. I'm a travel creator based in Seoul, and I have been living in Korea for 10 years. I love sharing my love for Korea, Korean culture, K-food, K-pop, and basically everything K with my online family of 600K across both Instagram and YouTube. It's so good to be here and so good to see you guys in person. Thank you so much.
600K is very impressive, so we're really honored to have you with us today. So like I briefly mentioned, today we're talking about the best places to visit in Seoul. And the weather in Korea right now is just perfect for traveling. So I'm curious about our panelists' traveling style. So Kyung, do you prefer waking up early to hit all the must-see spots or taking it easy on a more kind of relaxed, laid-back getaway?
I tend to be the more relaxed type when it comes to traveling because knowing, I have to wait in line for ages and ages if I go to those, famous spots. But look, part of traveling is to visit those kind of favorite spots. But for me, I think I'll rather save that time to probably go to like the second most popular or even the third most popular restaurants or must visit places and just use that time to just really relax because I mean, for me, traveling is all about relaxing and planning ahead, going where, like just everything beforehand can become a source of stress for me. So I like to be things a bit more closer to impromptu. But of course, visiting these like hotspots is important for me. But these days we have AI where it can become like our travel agency, like personalized. So just by writing down a few things like your budget, your travel date, location, it will give you a whole list of things you can actually visit and to save time. So I guess I'm looking forward to my next trip using AI because it's been like a couple of years since I actually last traveled. So yeah, I mean, with AI, hopefully travel can save a lot of time and just increase the level of, I guess, enjoyment at the same time.
Right. Apparently, they like tell you the exact schedule,
they
day by day, hour by hour. That's what
in
you
detail
have.
as well.
So yeah. Let us know how that goes.
Okay, I will do.
What about you, Majid?
So I used to be the kind of guy who would wake up early in the morning at 5 a.m. to take the best spots and all the good, top famous spots of that place, of that city. But now I guess I'm more like Gihun. I just want to go with the flow. I would, just see one or top two famous spots in the city, and then I would go there and feel relaxed. And I feel like there are two reasons behind that. First, maybe me and Gihun, we are getting older. And secondly, I would say like Seoul has kind of made me like that because in Seoul, there are so many things that you stumble into that you come across even while randomly walking on the street, so one day you are just randomly walking and you find a really beautiful rooftop bar. Maybe you meet a very nice Ajuma who is selling the best hot dog in the city. So these days I just go with the flow and I keep on finding and coming across all the nice beautiful spots in the city.
That's a great segue back to Seoul because that's what we're talking about today. We're talking about the best places to visit in Seoul. So before we talk about this, let's take a look at the screen. With the continued popularity of all things Korean, from music and films to books, Korea's quickly become a must-visit destination. And as more travelers arrive, lesser-known neighborhoods across Seoul are gaining attention, spreading rapidly through social media. Today on News Generation, we take a closer look at how young global travelers are exploring Seoul, the must-see events happening this May, and the must-try foods you can't miss when visiting the city. Just as we saw in the video, Seoul is drawing more global attention than ever. So let's start with the bigger picture. So have foreign visitors to Korea increased recently, Kyun?
Yes, it certainly has. So let's take a look at the screen for more details. Now, according to the Korea Tourism Organization, the number of foreign visitors to South Korea increased from 3.87 million to 4.76 million. So 3.87 million was in the first quarter of 2025, and it increased by 23% in the first quarter of 2026. And by looking at monthly figures, looking at March alone, over 2 million foreign tourists visited Korea, setting a new monthly record. And a catalyst behind this surge in number is obviously it was the full group comeback of BTS that was also live streamed on Netflix over 80 countries, which was held at the heart of Gwanghwamun Square. I was there too, and I was so surprised to see so many different foreigners in just one single place here in Seoul. And I'm sure Majid was there as well. But for me, it was just an incredible just seeing so many foreigners in front of my eyes, and I thought I was in a different country for a moment, but then until BTS came back. But I actually had the chance to ask many of the visitors why they came to Korea. Was it because of BTS? They did say it was partly because of BTS, but they also said they actually wanted to travel to Korea to get to know more about the culture and the food, which was another great thing to hear about. Now, despite the economic instability caused by the Middle East conflict and the continued global popularity of K-culture, backed by sustained efforts from the tourism industry, clearly shows Korea is a must-visit country among many global travelers.
So, I mean, that is a very significant jump, and it really shows how strong the momentum is. And naturally, much of that attention is centered on the capital. So what makes Seoul stand out as the top travel destination today, Majid?
Well, it's so good to see after seeing the stats that a lot of people are actually coming to Seoul. Before that, I would also like to share a few stats. Do you guys know that Seoul has been named the best leisure city in Asia for 2 consecutive years by Global Traveler, and last year it was also ranked as the best city for solo travelers. And this year it has been named as the best city by Time Out as a most walkable city in the world. So Seoul is definitely getting a lot of popularity, and a lot of travelers all over the world are coming to Seoul. And I would say there are a few reasons. First of all, the transportation here is very convenient, is very safe. With just $30, you can travel almost unlimited using subway and buses within Seoul. I would say the unique blend of culture, history, and technology, the blend of history and also the modern life, it's also one of the reasons. People can do a lot of things here, and there are so many, so many events going on, so many festivals going on, so people can never get bored in this city. So all of these reasons make it one of the best cities and one of the hot travel spots all over the world.
Right, so those recognitions really highlight Seoul's growing global appeal. But beyond the titles, there's also a personal side to this. So Majid, you're obviously a travel creator, so what makes Seoul especially special to you?
Well, I always say that if Seoul was a lady, I would have proposed her by now because I love this city so much. You can never get bored here. There are so many events going on, so many festivals going on. So one of the things that I love about this city is that you can never get bored. So it does not matter what time of the year, what time of the week you come here, there will always be something going on. For example, in spring, we have Cherry Blossom Festival. We also have Seoul Spring Festa. We also have, in May, for example, we are also having Seoul Jazz Festival. In summer, we will have Seoul Drum Festival, Jamsugyo Bridge Festival, a lot of festivals going on. In autumn, I would say we have Firework Festival, and then in winter, we have the Seoul Lantern Festival. So it does not matter what time of the year you always have, it does not matter what time of the year you come to Seoul, you always find something to enjoy. And that's what I love about Seoul.
I can really feel your excitement is truly contagious.
I love this city.
So that first-hand perspective really brings Seoul to life, and travel styles themselves are also evolving as well. So what are the new travel trends among young foreign visitors, Kyun?
Recently, there's been a surge in demand from young foreign visitors to actually pursue a live like a local travel style, where visitors move just beyond simply visiting those, well-known, famous touristy spots, and to actually live and choose to experience how the locals actually live in Korea, like locals just like you and me, Sujin. And this was thanks to obviously YouTube and social media, where just information has become so easily accessible from, I guess, content creators like Majid, who actually, go around Seoul beyond just those main touristy, well-known spots into like these little alleyways where only the locals know, and it's called the hidden 맛집, like those really nice restaurants that you don't really see on those well-known travel websites and things like that. So furthermore, the Seoul Tourism Organization also announced the 2026 Seoul Tourism Trend under the word vitality, referring to a new form of tourism in which travelers directly experience a city's energy and actually become part of that vitality.
So what's really funny about that living like a local trend is that's how I've started to get my recommendations, like how what tourists tend to visit on social media. They would upload like different reels and stuff, and they'd be like, these are like the hidden local restaurants. And oh, that actually looks quite good, and that inspires me to want to.
So it's become a two-way thing. Like we learn from like foreigners coming to Korea, they find these new hot spots, and like we share our own kind of local spots and vice versa. So I think it's a great way to kind of like, communicate with a lot of travelers coming to Korea, and all thanks to, I guess, social media. So it has its ups and downs. Social media has its ups and downs, but I'm glad that we have people like Majid who share great things about Korea that I didn't know about.
So Majid, as a travel creator, so what are the everyday spots in Seoul that are getting so much popularity?
Well, I feel like we need a whole separate program for that because there are a lot of places that I really want to talk about, and a lot of, like Gihun was saying, there are a lot of hidden gems and people, especially travelers, are finding out now, and the trend is also being changed. Like they want to live and experience what locals experience in the city. I would say like for me, some of the top places that I really want to recommend are, first one is Cheonggyecheon. So Cheonggyecheon stream is next to Uljiro Ibgu station. That's a beautiful stream over there, and especially these days they have a Seoul outdoor library going on. So if you guys are in Seoul, make sure to visit Cheonggyecheon stream and enjoy and reading a book sitting next to the water stream. I would also say Seoul Han River Hangang Park, both in Yeouido Hangang Park and also in Tuksam Hangang Park. And I see a lot of people, actually couples with family members with kids, they are actually going there having a wonderful time, especially because of the Seoul Spring Festa. On weekend it was jam-packed. I know it's not a hidden spot, but still it's a perfect spot to escape the hustle and bustle of the city. I would also like to say Jongno Samgao. It's also these days gaining a lot of popularity. I know Hongdae, Myeongdong always have been popular, but Jongno Samgao these days and Songsu is really getting a lot of popularity these days. So if you guys are in Korea, if you guys are coming to Seoul, make sure to visit Songsu-dong if you want to get a lot of freebies, and Jongno Samga if you want to hang out with your friends late at night.
So it is fascinating to see how everyday spaces are becoming must-visit spots, and it really shows how Seoul's charm lies in both its landmarks and also its daily life. And that's why we also wanted to hear directly from our viewers. So we ran a poll on the ID9 News YouTube channel asking what kind of leisure activity would you want to experience in Seoul? And here's what the results showed. So nearly half of respondents, 46%, chose running or taking a walk along Hangang Park. Another 31% said they'd like to try local hidden restaurants, while 13% prefer shopping in trendy areas like Songsu-dong or Hongdae. Meanwhile, 10% opted for going hiking, showing a smaller but notable interest in outdoor activities beyond the city center. So the results are quite telling. Nearly half choosing Hangang shows how much people truly value the simple everyday experiences, while a strong interest in hidden restaurants suggests visitors are truly looking to go beyond the typical tourist spots. And to get a more in-depth perspective, we're going to talk with someone who loves visiting Seoul. And that conversation is coming up right after break, so don't go anywhere.
NewsGen wants to hear from you. Go to YouTube and search out Channel Arirang News. Click Posts. And cast your vote in the poll. Make a new type of news with us.
Joining us today is Clarice, who visits Korea more than anywhere else and is planning another trip to Korea this June. So hello, Clarice. Thank you so much for connecting with us today.
Hi guys. I'm so happy to be on the show. Thank you for inviting me.
So happy to have you on as well. So Clarice, what first brought you to Korea and how often do you visit?
Yeah, so it was actually a fun story because I've been wanting to visit Korea for such a long time since I have Korean friends that I met there, or sorry, Korean friends that I met during university here and they're living there. So, but I was able to visit Korea finally last year because I attended like a live concert dance event that was televised as well. And ever since, I've been to Korea like 3 times now since September 2025 last year and going forth next month for BTS Busan concert. So yeah, super love Korea.
So, Clarice, I hope you will have a wonderful time at the BTS concert. By the way, what makes you want to come back to Korea, and what, especially in Seoul, what do you mostly do here?
So when I go to Korea, it's actually like mix of going to concerts and really diving into the Korean culture and how you guys live there. So like visiting Hanggang Parks, as you mentioned earlier, and of course the hottest place right now, the Brooklyn of Seoul, as they say, the Songsu. So that's actually the first. So when I first visited last year, that's the area that I actually lived or stayed. So every day I would go to like different shops and that get different freebies and then try a lot of like skincare. So it was such an amazing experience for me. And I must say it because I work in the digital marketing space. So the pop-ups in Songsu are like so beautiful that the experience is so immersive for buyers as well, for customers like us, and especially for foreigners like me. And then actually for Hanggang Park, the first one that I went to was actually Toksom Hanggang Park because that's actually the recommendation of my Korean friend. And I'm so glad that I went there because majority were like locals and then a lots of like busking. So it was such a memorable experience for me, like literally out of a K-drama scene. So yeah, and then just eating a lot of like ramen as well. So yeah.
Okay, wow, wonderful. Is there actually one place, food, or even a festival you would like to recommend to people visiting Korea for the first time?
Yeah, I actually do. So recently I've been to Jinhae Cherry Blossom Festival in Busan. So the funny thing is that my Korean friends didn't know about Jinhae Festival, which is I was actually shocked. So when I went to Jinhae Festival, it was very beautiful. There's a lot of cherry blossom trees and 360,000 cherry blossom trees in that area. So if anyone wants to visit Korea and wants to really experience cherry blossom with like full bloom and everything, of course Seoul is very beautiful too as well. But like it was such a very different experience for me, like witnessing around 360,000 trees, cherry blossom trees. So I would highly recommend that. And then, of course, for the food, if they're visiting Busan as well, I would recommend Veggie Gukbap, the pork rice. So yeah, I really love there. And then, of course, lastly, on top of my list is like going to a Korean spa. So yeah.
I mean, these are all great recommendations. So I hope you have another great time when you visit Korea again in June.
I will. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
So we just spoke with a frequent visitor to Seoul about her favorite travel spots, what keeps her coming back, and a food or festival she'd recommend to people visiting Korea for the first time. Now let's take a look at what visitors can actually experience on the ground. So what events can visitors enjoy in Seoul this May, Kyun?
There are actually a lot of things you can do at Han River Park, especially in Jamsil under the Jamsil Bridge. The 2026 car-free Jamsugyo Tubok Festival kicked off in late April that runs through June 14 every Sunday, where traffic is completely restricted, as you can see on the screen, allowing people to stroll freely across the bridge to really indulge the Han River view with like the waterfall shooting out from the bridge as well. The festival offers plenty of activities, including street food trucks, performances, parades, topped with yacht, kayak experiences, river cruises and even water picnics. And if you actually travel further down to the Tuksomhan River that we were just talking about, there's this Seoul Hangang drone light show that you can actually watch for free. But if you want to find out the exact details and the locations, please check out the official Seoul Metropolitan Government website.
Just look at the footage makes it clear that there's a lot to look forward to. So what are some other major events?
Two of the major events that I really want to talk about. First one is Seoul International Garden Show. Now Seoul International Garden Show runs from May 1st and until October 27th. So it's not running just for 1 month or 2 months, for 6 months, for almost 180 days. So if you guys are in Korea, make sure to attend Seoul International Garden Show, and it is happening at Seoul Forest and also Seongsu-dong area and until the Tuksom Hangang Park. Second one, if you guys are in Korea, make sure to visit Dongdaemun Design Plaza this weekend because we are having Seoul Friendship Festival from May 9 until May 10th. And there will be a lot of embassies, almost 75 countries are participating. You can actually try and eat different cuisines of different countries. And not only that, you can also enjoy some of the festivals, some of the traditions of different countries that are participating in this festival.
Right, so those events really highlight Seoul's vibrant and diverse culture. And of course, no trip is complete without the foods or the must-try foods for visitors that are coming to Seoul.
Well, I would say if you guys still want to be in that trend, I would say butter talk. I'm sure you guys have tried it, right?
Right.
So butter talk is one of the things I would say you guys must try. Dubai Dojunku, right?
Yep.
Sorry for my pronunciation, but Dubai chocolate chewy cookie is also a great thing to try. I would say bingsu, because summer is coming up, so bingsu, pat bingsu, red bean bingsu is great. Then I would say if you guys like spicy food, jimdak and tteokgalbi are must-try Korean foods.
And some of my favorites too. So what are your recommendations, Kim?
If you're hanging around the Han River, you should try Hangang Ramyeon, which is basically ramen, but it's a different style of ramen because it's different to the traditional way of cooking, and it just tastes better for some reason. Perhaps because you're outdoors, you have the Hangang view in front of you. My personal favorite is mulnaengmyeon, which is a cold buckwheat noodle topped with suyuk, which is boiled sliced pork. And if you are, I guess, a drinker as well, you can top it off with makgeolli, which is a Korean rice wine. Now, if you want to feel a little guilty, you should definitely try gopchang, which is pig or even beef small intestines. Now, it may sound a little odd just by looking at the words, but it tastes beautiful. It's actually juicy. It's a little fatty as well, but then for that moment, you want to forget about going on a diet because it is absolutely delicious.
So Seoul continues to evolve, blending global trends with its own unique rhythm. From riverside strolls to hidden eats and vibrant festivals, there's always something new to discover. And however you choose to explore it, Seoul proves it's a city you want to come back to. And that brings us to the end of today's episode of News Generation. But News Gen will be back tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. Korea time with more stories and discussions. A big thanks to Majid.
Thank you so much for having me. It was so much fun.
And also Kyun.
Always a pleasure.
And to our viewers, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully this will inspire you to visit Seoul before your algorithm does. We are News
Generation.